That's right, Tony. Tax season is underway, and although it can be tedious, getting yours done can be vital. So joining us this morning on Sunrise today is Allie DeLoyan, who is the Director of Tax Solutions and an advisory consultant for Capital City Financial Partners.
Yeah, that's right. It's time to talk taxes right now. So Allie, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I'm going to admit, Allie, have not filed my taxes yet. That deadline is coming up on April 15th. So is there a best time to file?
Sure, don't feel bad that you haven't filed yet. So filing early has a lot of benefits. It means that you can get access to that refund a lot sooner. It also means that you can prepare for the amount of tax that you may have to pay at April 15th. And additionally, it can mean that you have access to that financial information that you might need for other aspects of your life that the tax return is required for. So filing early is always a good idea. It's something we advise, but keep in mind that if you do file too early, there is a potential that you could get some amended or corrected forms in the mail. So keep an eye on those inboxes. I know most of us have gone paperless these days, so don't ignore any of those amended or corrected forms you have, and in that case, you may have to amend your return. But filing early, always good. Yeah.
All right, talk about some of the benefits and consequences of doing your taxes yourself versus doing them with a professional.
Sure. Yeah, tackling your own tax return can certainly save you money on tax prep fees, but it can end up costing you in the long run if you make a mistake, right? So you want to be careful. My general rule of thumb is if you're have a single employer, minimal amounts of investment income, I think you're probably safe going at it alone, self-preparing. It's when you start getting into those areas where you have business income and capital gains, passive income, rental properties, things like that, you definitely want to consult a tax advisor. Those fees that you'll pay, that cost that you're going to incur is going to be worth that peace of mind that you have, knowing that a professional prepared your return. So.
Now, for sure, Allie, something around tax season I know that kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety is making sure that I have all of my files. So when you're talking about paperwork and documents, what are things that you need to keep handy?
Yeah, absolutely. So throughout the year, it's always good to have that folder, that default folder for any charitable contributions that you're making. Any tax receipts that you may have if you go through a large transaction, like sell your home, for instance. Make sure that you're keeping all of that collected because you don't want to forget at the end of the year that happened, right? Because life happens and the year goes by quick, right? And then, of course, come January, February, March, you're going to get those forms in the mail that say important information, tax information enclosed. Make sure that you're putting those in that same folder and then handing it over to your CPA or your professional or preparing yourself. But, yeah.
So what are some common mistakes that you see, when people file their taxes?
Yeah, one of the most common mistakes that we see personally are when our clients don't communicate with us proactively throughout the year. A lot of times our tax clients think of us as just a December or January person, right? And we want to have those ongoing proactive conversations throughout the year, especially because sometimes you don't realize the tax implications of something that you might be doing. And so we want to at least be able to educate our clients and have them be prepared. Even if it doesn't change the outcome, at least they're not surprised. Right, so just having that open line of communication with your CPA.
And talking about surprises, we don't want any, but if you miss the deadline on April 15th, now what?
Okay, so if you think that you are going to miss or not going to be able to file your taxes on time, there is a 6-month extension that the IRS allows for. So it's a really simple application and it gives you until October 15th to file your tax return. So just don't let April 15th go by without at least filing that extension. And just keep in mind that is an extension to file, not an extension to pay. So any amounts that go unpaid up and until the point that they're paid, interest and penalties will accrue. So again, timely is always the best policy, but there are provisions that allow you to wait until October 15th. So.
Absolutely. Don't procrastinate. Get your taxes done. Allie, thank you so much for these tips. I know they're going to help a lot of our viewers. Again, to contact Allie directly, that phone number is 803-782-0671. You can also visit Capital City Financial's website. It's there on your screen, capitalcityfinancialpartners.com. We'll also have this full interview on our website. Just head to WISTV.com.